Welcome back for another shave video, and we're going to review Taum Sauk. You might think, as I did when I looked at this, that this was pronounced Taum Sauk because of the U, the AU there, but it's actually pronounced like the AU in fraud, so aw, so it's Taum Sauk. And this is named after the highest point in Missouri. My grandfather was born in Campbell, Missouri, which is around, it was in the Boot Hill, Missouri, and he actually pronounces Missouri, or did, he's been gone now for about 5-6 years. He pronounced it Missouri, and was talking with some people from Missouri recently, and they said that that's sort of a common thing from people from the Boot Hill to say Missouri instead of Missouri. But anyway, Missouri, Missouri, ever how you say it, the Show Me State, the highest point there, at I believe it's like 1,770 something feet, is Taum Sauk Mountain. And Taum Sauk mountain is named after a Native American First Nations chief. I forget the tribe name. It starts with a P, Panakuski or something like that. Panofsky. I'm butchering it, and I apologize for that. But that's what the highest peak in Missouri is named after, is that chief. And if you're familiar with the work of not just Declaration Grooming, but also Chatillon Lux, and Chatillon Lux is also listed here on this on the soap. They frequently do collaborations together, and Chatillon Lux focuses on the scents in and around St. Louis, Missouri, obviously, and so that's what this was inspired by. And even though it's quite a ways from Missouri, I think it's probably a couple hours away from St. Louis. Taum Sauk Mountain influenced this scent. When you look on the website, both Declaration Grooming and Taum Sauk, you don't see, any specific notes for this soap and aftershave. It just says it's inspired by the sense of being on top of that mountain. Cedar is particularly mentioned there, but I couldn't find any specific notes on this, and I'll amend the description in this video if I find more on that in the future. But this reminds me of just the concept of this soap reminds me of one I reviewed in my top 10 shaving soaps for spring and summer with the Cheehaw, or Mount Cheehaw soap from Green Mountain Soaps in Alabama. Mount Cheehaw being the highest point in Alabama, Taum Sauk being the highest point in Missouri. It actually got me thinking about this hobby some people have called high pointing, which is meaning that they try to hit all the high points in all the states in the U.S. Some people do that for all the continents. I mean, there's various degrees of high pointing. But it gave me the idea that I'd like to, at least on the short list of goals, is to go back to Mount Cheehaw in Alabama, which is beautiful, and do a shave there on the mountain with the Cheehaw soap from Green Mountain Soaps, and go to Taum Sauk, which is just about 3-4 hours from me, and do a shave with this soap up on the mountain. But we're not going to do that tonight. I don't have that time to devote to that trip, but I would love to do it. I love being outside, I love hiking. So let's get a shave with this. I actually have, believe it or not, this has been blooming. There's water in here. I put some hot water in here to use as a pre-shave. So I'm going to pour that into my hand here and kind of put that on as a pre-shave. Go ahead and take the glasses off. Had a shower a bit ago. It's this soap, to me, the scent is such a contradiction in a good way. So the way I do my pre-shaves, I'll put like a pre-shave if I've bloomed the soap, take the water off of that, and just also use other pre-shave products. But for this one and others like this, I then just take a hot washcloth and hold it on there for a bit. That's like the way I like to do my pre-shaves. Okay, so back to the soap being a contradiction. Let me shake off the excess water there. I've got the Maggart's 24 millimeter super high density 2-band badger knot on the Wild West Brushworks handle. Dip that back into some hot water there, shake it out, and go ahead and start loading up the brush. But yeah, it's a contradiction when you in these scents, because it's a dark, bright, clean scent. So it's a fresh scent, but there's definitely this woodsy darkness to it that I love. It's a great combination. It does remind me a little bit of the Mount Cheetah soap that I mentioned in my top 10 soaps for spring and summer. If you've ever used Declarations soaps, soap base, it is amazing in all its iterations. And this is the Icarus base for this soap. Let me just get, before I start doing the lather on the face, let me give you a little bit more of my impressions. Well, it's hard to pick out any single note in this soap. You do get the like a woodsy overall note, meaning like cedarwood, sandalwood, even like vetiver type smells. I mean, and I'm not sure any of that's in here except for the cedar. But you also get this clean scent. So it's like this dark, woodsy, clean scent. That's the best I can do right now. It's strong off the puck, and we'll see how it does in terms of as it's lathered on the face in terms of scent. Go ahead and just apply some of this excess soap from the puck on my face, and let's get to building this lather. Hope everyone's well. We've had heat advisories here in Tennessee this week. The air temperature has not gotten above, I don't think, but like 95, maybe been the highest, 94. But with the heat index added in, there has been heat advisories out. This brush was soaking before we started, so it's still holding a pretty good amount of water. Just trying to assess here whether I need to add some water or not. And again, if it's your first time checking out one of my videos where I'm actually shaving, as you notice I have a mustache. You may be thinking, why you're putting soap under your nose? It's because I like to appreciate the scent when I'm shaving. Yeah, the scent remains strong once lathered and applied for the shave. It's still pretty thick. I'm going to dip the tips here a little bit. And see. Can't build this up a little more. Oh yeah. Per usual, I often almost get some in my eye because I just kind of go wild with applying the lather. It seems a little thin on this side. Well, I'm actually also remembering I've got about 3 days growth, maybe a bit more. So it's time for a shave, and so I think part of that I'm seeing through the suds or the lather It's just whiskers from the beard. And we'll call that good. What I have here is the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements brush scuttle, and let me actually pour the water out of the brush area where I had it soaking. And so this is a scuttle just like a shave scuttle, except it's just for the brush to keep it warm while shaving. So put that in there. And as usual, a complete mess around everywhere I won't be shaving, all over on the shirt and everywhere else. It's all right. I'm not gonna worry about that. So just area under here needs a little more soap. Probably hear some music from the adjacent room. My wife is watching a movie, has it turned up pretty loud. Well, actually not that loud. It's just that this bathroom where I shave is really close to our den or living room area, so just extra added music for the shave. Hopefully doesn't result in some copyright violation with it eking through. Okay, so we are using the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Ascension Adjustable Twist Double Open Comb Copper Razor. It's a mouthful, and I'll be giving out a full review soon. But this is my second time using it, the second shave on this blade. The blade is a Persona Red that's in here, which is, I almost use those exclusively now. I mean, I will use other blades, but that's my favorite blade and the ones that I have large, like the 100 pack of. So let's get, stop talking and start shaving. Yeah, as usual, Declaration Grooming, slick. Both primary and residual, good slickness. As you probably can tell from my other videos, and will tell from this one in terms of the ones where I've shaved, I am a buffer. I tend to go back over areas that I've already run the blade over. It's just my preferred method. Some people will tell you not to do that, but it just works for me. And so you really need a soap that has not only good primary slickness but residual slickness, since you're going back over a place where you've already removed the lather, and so that residual, that residue that's left back being slick is very helpful if you're someone who tends to go back over certain areas on the same pass. Also, with the double open comb, and for those of you not familiar, the open comb part would be the bottom here, where you normally have a bar that is closed and no openings, basically looks like teeth. This is open comb, and so not only does it extend at the bottom, it extends into the actual head of the razor, or the cap of the razor, and you can see the razor blade there between those gaps. And so the idea with a double open comb, or as Razor Rock calls theirs, a self-lubricating open comb, is that not only does the lather sort of move out of the way from the open comb bottom and allow hair to pop up through there and be cut easier, it also allows the lather to work up on the blade, because there's the grooves in the razor to allow that lather to get up there. So it kind of keeps that blade lubricated. At least theoretically, that's what it's done. There was some huge crash now in the movie, so, and now someone's hollering, so again, apologies. It's a good time as any to tell you, we suddenly found ourselves owners of a cat. My wife is allergic to cats, and she used to be kind of scared of them. And we have a couple of dogs. We have a Shih Tzu and we have a like a rescue that's a mix of a little bit of everything, and our dogs are basically like members of the family. They're house dogs, they stay in the house. I said I don't shave the mustache, but I do shave just a small little strip. I have a little bit of separation between my mustache and the beard. All right. So anyway, have those two dogs, and I never, ever, 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 ever thought we'd get a cat. I like cats. I've never had one myself. Growing up, my grandmother had one, and I enjoyed, you know, spending time with that cat. Cats are a lot of fun. Like, they are fun to kind of watch. They tend to get into some mischief or tend to be pretty playful. But anyway, so this cat on our street, we noticed one night it had like an injury to its leg, and there was like this purple liquid stuff on its leg, which was actually, come to find out, medicine that the owner had gotten like at the local co-op and put on there, but did not take the cat to the vet. Anyway, the cat had lost a lot of weight, didn't look well. We knocked on the owner's door a couple times just to, you know, check with him and make sure if there's anything we could do. And while the guy, you know, talked affectionately about the cat and called it his cat and seemed to be doing what he thought was best to take care of it, it was a rental house that this guy lived in, and he moved. And as the crow flies, he moved about 5 miles away. And this cat walked back to our neighborhood after the guy moved. Well, some of our neighbors called the guy and told him that the cat was here, and you know, he could come back and pick it up, and he's never done that. He's not really showed an interest in getting the cat. So my daughter would come in, you know, from being out and about, and if she saw the cat, she'd get out there, my 15-year-old daughter, and talk to it and play with it. So they developed a little bit of a bond. Long story short, his leg still looked kind of weird, and we weren't sure he'd had his shots. And it's a tomcat, and he had not been neutered, and we didn't want to see kittens showing up. Anyway, I'm dragging this out, but we're going across the grain on this pass. We took the cat to the vet last week and got its shots. Had it tested for different things, and whatever battery of tests the vet recommended. Like I said, we're not cat owners, or we weren't. We're not used to what all you do with a new cat. Again, just a reminder, no one's being tortured in my house. That's just the movie my wife is watching. Hope it's not the cat. Anyway, so the vet strongly recommend we had the cat neutered. So we did that this week. Long story short, $200 later, meaning from the beginning, like the shots and the neuter surgery and litter box and litter and collar and cat food and bowl and water bowl. We are now in about $200 on this cat. And the cat is a very sweet cat, very affectionate cat. I'm sure I'm committing a number of shaving faux pas because, again, I can't really talk and shave at the same time yet. Here I am. Yeah, that's pretty, like I said, right now, that's me. I hope I'm not the only one out there that is pretty sloppy when they lather. It is not pretty, but I enjoy it. And this gets the job done. I don't know if anybody else ever feels like they need I need a brush that has like a big flare here to catch all the lather and push it back to the brush, because it usually ends up on the handle for me. I guess I should spend some more time being slower and deliberate with my shaving. I don't know for what purpose other than just to be intentionally slow, because that's one of the things I like about wet shaving. It causes you to slow down and do something you enjoy. It's not like a cartridge razor you can just speed across your face and torture it. All right, got a little thinned out there, the lather did, but that's okay. So going against the grain here. So after we picked the dog up at the cat at the vet said you need to keep cat, and you hear our dogs barking now, keep the cat inside for at least 3 days. Since my wife is allergic, and they shed quite a bit, which our rescue dog does too, our Shih Tzu does not shed, we have not been considering keeping, that's the Shih Tzu barking now, just for a treat. We had not been considering keeping the cat inside. As a kid, I grew up in a rural area in Alabama, and I buried like a dog a year as a kid, because they would get hit by cars, or snake bit, or just come up missing. So I had not really had a dog from the time I lived in the country to the age I was when I was like 12, till we moved in town. After my mom remarried, and I didn't have any dogs after that. Pets. I think that back we later had a dog named Lucky, but I think it was after I'd already gone off to college. But so I've been reluctant to have any kind of outside pets, because do a little pickup pass here. I just know that the more they're outside, the greater likelihood something could befall them, right? We have, like I said, 2 inside dogs. But anyway, we're on day 2 of the cat being inside, and my prediction is we're probably not gonna, we'll let the cat go out like the dogs do, once he's past his post-surgery limitations or whatever. But the dogs and the cat have gotten along great. The only problem right now is the cat's trying to eat the dog's food, and the dog's trying to eat the cat's food, which we read is not good. So we're trying to keep only certain food down certain times. All right. I hope I did the right direction on that last pass. This area under my neck right in here is where I have all the weird swirls, and where there's usually you can hear it in there, pickups to be made. Of course, also the area I'm most likely to get ingrown hairs from chasing that BBS. So, as of now, I don't think the cat will go out long term. I think it's going to be a house cat. We may have to up my wife's allergy game to figure out how we're going to get through that. All right, let me just feel around here for any areas to pick up. I could smell the soap all the way through the shave, and it smells great. Again, a dark freshness, if that makes any sense. Still that much lather left in the brush. There's also a little something barbershoppy there, like a powdery, not powdery might not be, almost a clay smell. If that makes any sense. All right, let's rinse this off and we'll get to trying the aftershave. Okay, I actually didn't get a towel out earlier. Get this one. So, I mentioned having all the dogs as a kid. And I remember what most of them looked like. Like, for example, we had a pair of beagles one time. And one got hit by a car, and the other one, at least according to my dad, died of a broken heart. Like the next couple of days, it did. It like sort of laid down, just laid around, and seemed to give up. But, oh yeah, still smell. You could stop here and not use any post shave, and be just fine. But when has wet shaving ever been about moderation? So the Taum Sauk aftershaves from Chatillon Lux. It is both alcohol and witch hazel in there. Shake it up a little bit. Oh, you really get the burn. You really get the, like a, well, cedar slash fir slash pine. It smells like a Christmas tree. Not in a, spicy, like, clove, cinnamon kind of Christmas, but just straight up Christmas tree. Actually, with a smell I would associate with spruce, like spruce essential oil, which is one of my favorites. Oh yeah, that feels great. I am, just so I can enjoy the aftershave scent. I'm not going to put on any balm tonight. That smells great, feels great. Just a little bit of menthol in there. Smells fresh. So there's that dark woodiness in there. Ah, man, I love this scent. This would have definitely cracked the top 10 on spring and summer. I don't know where I would have put it right now. I'd have to go back and think about that. But this is also a fall, winter scent too. I just love this. I love the sort of the blending of darkness and light in this soap and in this aftershave. Rinse off the puck here a little bit. You can see I still haven't gotten that haircut I've been talking about. But just to finish up this story about the cat, so in the dogs, meaning the dogs I had as a kid, as I said, can't really remember the names of the dogs that I had as a kid, but I do remember the names of two of them. One was Margot and the other was Hector. Just so happens this cat's name, that was named by the previous owner, is Hector, which is kind of cool, I think, and the same color that dog was. So I have a new Hector, a pet in my life, which is kind of cool. And like I said, yeah, my wife and I just look at each other and laugh, but because of like her allergies and all that, we thought we'd never have a house cat, but it looks inevitable. And I kind of been joking with my daughter because she bugged us for about a year wanting a guinea pig, and we just like would not give in to it, because like I had a girlfriend in high school and college that had a guinea pig, and I kind of knew how much they smelled and stuff, and so anyway, I've been joking with her. I should have said yes to the guinea pig, because otherwise she might not have started petting this cat. But yeah, we love this cat. This cat's a member of the family now, and we've got a collar on it with his name and our phone number, so that guy comes looking for that cat, I'm gonna tell him too bad. He has a new owner that's actually got him immunized and neutered and taken care of, and so yeah, scoot along, because he's now part of this family. All right, so yeah, I highly recommend to you Declaration Grooming and Chatillon Lux's collaboration, and the soap, and Taum Sauk, Mountain Taum Sauk, highest point in Missouri, and the accompanying aftershave. And there's also an EDT, obviously, on the Chatillon Lux website. I didn't spring for that. I actually think I do have a sample of it, though. I forgot to use that. I'll actually spray that on after I finish up here, but I may wait, because I'm kind of anxious to see how long this lasts. Yeah, face feels great, smells great. Sorry, this was kind of a rambling shave, but appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.